which means that the pocket watch was removed from the body.
That's the only explanation, then.
Yeah. I didn't take it off his body, Jody. After I shot him, I mean, you don't think I did it, do you?
Oh, come on, of course not.
It's bad enough I'm a homicidal maniac. I don't need you to think that I'm a thief, too.
Stop it! Okay, now, let's be serious, okay? We have to try to figure this out. I mean, it could be very important.
No matter how important it is, it doesn't change what happened, Jody.
Gavin, it means we don't know what happened when you left the dance studio.
All right. One thing we do know is that the next person in there was Miles.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I know, Jody, I know. Miles doesn't go around stealing watches either. How can I be so stupid? Do you remember what Miles said? That someone hit him over the head when he went to go help Gunther?
That's right. Only Sky Whitney made it sound as if he was lying, that he deliberately let Gunther bleed to death.
And maybe the same person who took Gunther's watch hit Miles over the head.
You mean like a thief?
I mean like Sky Whitney.
Oh, Gavin, come on. I don't think that's possible.
If it wound up in Sky's bedroom, it had to get there somehow, didn't it?
I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Come on, Sky stealing Gunther's watch.
It was his watch originally.
Gavin, did you ever think about this? Maybe it's all a mistake. Maybe the watch Martine saw and the one her husband stole, maybe it's a different watch.
But why would a burglar steal all these things and then give them back?
Well, I don't know, but that's exactly what Collier Wells did. Even sent it to Derek Mallory's office for safekeeping.
Well, I'm just glad that they're back in my hands, all my beautiful jewels.
Yeah. And mine. Well, don't you see, darling, he wasn't interested in the value of this stuff. He just wanted to prove some stupid point.
Like what?
He wanted to prove that he could burglarize my house. He tried it once before, remember?
In Paris, right?
Yeah. I bet he'll never forget that night. It was the first time that he was ever caught red-handed.
I'll never forget that night either. I think you let him go because you fell in love with his beautiful wife.
I let him go because it amused me.
Well, I'm sure it amused him to rip us off, too. Sweet revenge.
Yeah, sweet revenge is right. He probably thought it was some sort of, I don't know, poetic justice.
There's nothing just about stealing my jewelry.
Yeah. Well, the circumstances were all the same, don't you see? I mean, Martine was dancing for me in the theater. I was there in the theater. And Collier Wells was here in my house.
So you think he had the whole thing planned?
Oh, I'm sure he did. I mean, he wanted to make sure that I recognized his little scheme. He even called me up on the phone to make sure I'd get his point.
Well, he can have his point, just so I have my jewelry.
That is a nice...
Excuse me, Mr. Whitney.
Oh.
I thought this might be a good time to take the car into the garage, unless, of course, you're planning to use it this afternoon.
No, I'm not. It's a good idea, Spencer.
Sky, who is this?
Oh, that's right. Well, you two haven't met. This is Spencer Varney. He's going to be working for us from now on. This is my wife, Mrs. Whitney.
How do you do, Mrs. Whitney?
You know, he's already put himself to good use. You know the green limo, how it's been kind of wobbling? Well, he said it's because it needs
you know I know nothing about automobile mechanics, nor do I care. I just care that you drive me safely from place to place.
I'm a very good driver, Mrs. Whitney. I'm sure you won't have any complaints. May I take the car, Mr. Whitney?
Yeah, go right ahead, Spencer.
Okay.
I do have a complaint.
Well, what's that?
You hired him without asking me.
Well, we needed a replacement for Gunther.
Well, I thought we decided that we were going to decide on that together, and you just barged right ahead and did it.
Well, you spent all morning in bed.
Well, I was upset that someone stole my jewelry. I didn't want to see anybody.
Look, the moment I saw Spencer, I knew he was just what we needed. And when I saw his references, I knew he was exactly what we needed.
Well, I think he's a cold fish.
Well, he's got to be cool in his line of work. And I don't just mean driving either.
What do you mean?
He's more than just a chauffeur. He's a bodyguard. And people like us need protection.
It would be like catching a white bird.
Birds can be very happy
mind. Score is even. I've had my fun. Raven has her jewels. Skylar Whitney has his watch. Not to mention a brilliant, beautiful dancer. And we all have what we want, so we can all go our separate ways. You know, it is moments like this that are just perfect for a kiss on the hand. It's gallant, it's touching, and it's not too emotional.
There was something. Like, I didn't tell the chief about it because I didn't want him to think I was in collusion with Gavin.
Well, what's that?
He called me.
He did?
Yeah, it was a brief call, and he didn't give me any clue as to where he might be found.
Well, what did he say? Did he just call to say hello or something?
No, he asked a real peculiar question. He wanted to know if anybody found a pocket watch on Gunther Wagner's body.
Pocket watch? What do you want to know about a pocket watch?
Well, he didn't tell me.
That's odd. Didn't Dr. Kavanaugh say that Gunther's last words had something to do with a watch?
Yeah, that's true. Damned if I can make any sense out of what it means, though.
Well, if it isn't two of Monticello's finest.
Well, hello, Didi. I hope this is not your case that we're testifying for.
Yeah, I hope not either. You know, she makes a mince meat out of police testimony. Didn't I just see you two somewhere? Are you following me around or something?
Lawyers and cops always seem to run into each other, Mr. Stoner.
Oh, look, why don't you just call me detective?
Calvin, don't be hostile.
Hostile? Me? Come on. I was just wondering what a corporate lawyer was doing down here in criminal court.
I just thought I'd walk Didi over, point out how tacky everything is.
Well, we have to keep it tacky. We don't want it too pleasant, otherwise the criminals might want to come back.
Not too pleasant for lawyers either. Oh, my name is Julius. Julius Newcomb.
Damian Tyler.
I'm sorry I should have introduced you to. Damian is Calvin's partner.
It's going to take the two of you to testify in this case?
No, Damian's just sort of hanging out. He likes to come see all the crooks Didi keeps out of jail.
Well, I'm trying to get Didi to change her mind about doing just that.
Well, it sounds like you're on our side.
In fact, I'm trying to convince her to switch to corporate law.
Really? I hear there's a lot of money in that.
And I think Didi'd be very good at it, too. And there are too few black counselors in corporate law.
Yeah, too few beautiful women.
That's for sure. But I mean it. If you want a piece of the action, you've got to go where the action is. You do agree with me, don't you, Calvin?
Yeah, sounds logical, I guess. I never really thought about it. You know, I figure I do my bit by keeping the bad guys off the street. That's until Didi puts them back out there.
Well, then maybe we'll be doing each other a favor if we can change her mind.
Yeah, maybe.
I've got an idea. Why don't we have dinner together some night? Didi and me, you and your wife.
Julius, I have to meet that client in about 15 minutes. We better hurry.
Right. I'll be calling you on that, Calvin. Nice meeting you, Mr. Tyler.
Yeah, real pleasure.
Over 1
Here we are, Nicole. I'm sorry I don't have a red carpet to roll out. Oh, Geraldine, it's fabulous. Well, that's somewhat excessive. I know it's small, but so are all the other executive offices at the station.
I still can't think of myself as an executive.
Well, that's what you are now, my dear. As a matter of fact, I'd say that the job of news director is even more important than my own.
I doubt that, Geraldine.
Well, you know how vital news is to a local station, and certainly you realize that it is the most important source of revenue.
Are you sure you picked the right person?
Oh, I made the right choice, all right. I just hope I'll be forgiven for putting all this burden on your shoulders.
Oh, no, it's a delightful burden and a delightful office.
Oh, you have
haven't met Laura Fulton yet, have you?
No, I haven't. How do you do, Miss Fulton? I'm Geraldine Saxon. Oh, it's very nice to meet you, Mrs. Saxon. Nicole tells me you two will be working together.
Yes. I just had Glenn give her a quick tour around the studio so that she could get to find her way around here.
Well, it's a confusing place at first, my dear, but you'll get used to it. For the first few days that I was here, I was afraid to admit that I couldn't find the powder room.
It's a very exciting atmosphere, and I really haven't worked in any place like it.
Mostly in offices, I suppose.
In private homes, actually.
Well, Nora, this is going to be our home at the studio. What do you think?
It's very nice.
Well, now that I say it, it's rather small, but after all, you'll be spending most of your time in the studio anyway.
Oh, and at home. I still intend to divide my time between the two places, if that's all right with you.
Well, of course, my dear. I don't care, as long as the job gets done. I understand Mrs. Goodman is back with you.
Oh, yes. But unfortunately, she has this bad case of acrophobia. It's not the best thing to have when you live on the 32nd floor.
Oh, dear. Well, I'll let you get acquainted with your new quarters. Oh, I have brought you a tape of your last newscast, the story in the VCR.
Oh, thank you.
VCR?
Yes, video cassette recorder. It's this thing right here. I thought the news director should take a long, hard look at the talent.
Oh, I think you'll like what you see, even though you may not enjoy the content. It's about the Gunther Wagner killing.
Oh, yes, I remember.
You've had no word from Jody at all?
No. The only thing we know for sure is that she's with Gavin. And I keep hoping to hear that they're both back.
I'm sorry. Well, I must be going. Good luck to you both.
Goodbye, and thank you, Geraldine.
Mrs. Kavanaugh, do you want me to start looking at this mail? There's a lot of it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a great help, Nora. Thank you. Death in a dance studio. That's the headline of tonight's crime story. A story of tragedy involving a young dancer, her choreographer, and the man who allegedly tormented her. Gunther Wagner, chauffeur and general manservant of dance impresario Skylar Whitney, was killed last night in the Wiley Dance Studios. The victim of a gunshot wound apparently received during a struggle between himself and Gavin Wiley.
No, I don't want to see any more people at the moment. No, I have nothing against the press. It's just that I don't give any more interviews, okay? Yes, I'll call you back. Bye-bye.
Yes. Martine, are you alone? Who is this? It's Jody. Martine, I have to ask you a question. Is it all right? Yes, it's all right. I'm alone. Okay, look, I told Gavin about Skylar Whitney's watch. It doesn't make any sense to him either.
Well, look, I don't know. All I can tell you is that it was there. I saw it. It's an all-pocket watch with the initials SJW written on the inside of the case, right?
Okay, but isn't it possible that Sky might have two watches? I mean, maybe he collects them. Some people do that.
I never knew Sky being a collector of anything except women. I haven't seen him since the opening, Jody.
Ask her to look at it again. Describe it as accurately as possible.
Listen, Martine, can you still get your hands on that watch?
No, that's impossible. I'm sorry, dear.
Why? Has your husband left town or something?
He may have left already, yes.
Well, couldn't you call him? Couldn't you just get one more look at that watch?
Well, better yet, give us a look at it.
Jody, it's impossible. You see, my husband had a strange attack of conscience or something.
What do you mean?
He has returned everything. Skylar Whitney has his watch again.
Let me do that, Mr. Whitney.
Oh, fine. Well, thank you, Spencer. I appreciate a man who takes initiative.
A splash of soda and 2 lumps of ice. That's the way my hubby likes it.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, I believe you will, Spencer. You strike me as someone who's got quite a good memory.
I also know how to forget things, Mr. Whitney. That can be an important quality as well.
Yes, it certainly can.
I'm sure your previous employer admired that about you.
Yeah, I imagine it couldn't have been terribly easy working for your previous employer. What's his name? Bowie. As I understand it, he spent the last 3 years evading extradition on tax evasion charges. Is that correct?
See if that's the way you like it, Mr. Whitney.
That's just fine. Well, is that the reason that he traveled so much?
Well, I believe it was one of the reasons.
Were there others?
I heard he was a crook. No offense, Spence.
I'm sorry, I really don't know.
Well, you just passed your test, Spencer.
Pardon?
Well, you really do forget things, even about former employers.
There's not much point in remembering, Mr. Whitney, when a man is dead.
Oh, that's right. He had a heart attack, didn't he?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, and rumor has it that if he didn't die of a heart attack, someone or some person unknown might have done it for him. As I understand it, he was in trouble with financiers of a particular type. Is that right?
I couldn't say, sir.
Oh, come on, Spencer. Give us a little gossip.
You know, someone like Mr. Bowie would be in need of someone other than just a driver. It'd probably need somebody pretty handy with a gun.
I don't carry a gun, Mr. Whitney.
But you were his bodyguard.
Yes, sir. I was.
Well, you know, Spencer, people of means need protection. That's one of the jobs that our former chauffeur did for us.
Gunther didn't carry a gun.
No, but he was big and strong and intimidating, and that was enough.
Well, would you object to the idea of doing more than just driving?
No, sir. You can count on me for everything.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
And right now, sir, I think I'd better see if the car is ready at the garage. Will you excuse me?
Certainly, Starcy. So, what do you think of my choice?
Oh, he's all right. I still think he's a cold fish, but he's an improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, that's strange.
What?
Well, he referred to Gunther by his first name. He also seemed to know that he never carried a gun.
Damn. Martine had that thing right in her hands. Now it's gone. Now we'll never know.
There is one way we could find out.
What's that?
Well, we could go to the police.
And do what? Tell them our theory? I don't think so, Jody.
Gavin, it might be very important to prove that Sky was at the dance studio before the police arrived.
But how, Jody? We don't even know ourselves. Maybe that watch that Gunther showed you was a different watch altogether.
Well, then where is it? The only watch found on Gunther's body was the wristwatch. That means somebody had to steal the pocket watch.
Only if Martine's husband hadn't given it back.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. If only I could have got another look at it, just to make sure it was the same watch Gunther had.
Maybe there is a way we can have another look at it.
How?
We could do what Collier Wells did. Burglarize the Whitney mansion ourselves.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night